Greetings and welcome, everyone. It's All You Can Geek Moviecast, episode 449. I'm one of your hosts, Jim Gast, joined by Mike Sneedy.
What's up?
Corey Feinsod.
Hey.
And Tony Korkanakis.
I'm young.
What's up, guys? Welcome, listeners. Welcome, viewers, to 449 of the Moviecast. It's been a couple weeks since I introed. It was. I was like, oh, wait.
Rusty there?
Yeah, I was. I was almost at Gamecast.
Well, we got a big one coming up later.
Yeah, I think it's just on my mind. So, but welcome everybody to 449 of the Moviecast. We're going to discuss a lot of new movie news that's been confirmed finally. I think you guys probably talked about it last week. But first and foremost, let's get into let's go to the box office, I guess, and then what we've been up to. What do you think? Box office?
Sure.
Talk about how Godzilla opened at 48 million, pretty much 47.9, but underperformed according to their tracking.
Well, it's lower than the first. Well, the first. It's lower than the one prior to this one.
Yeah. I've heard that people are really enjoying this movie as a popcorn flick, like very much so.
I mean, the trailers show you can't go off trailers, but the show's like a bunch of monsters. They talk about like there's 17 titans, and if you're looking just for like a crazy monster film with like zero plot or something, then that's probably what you're gonna get.
Yeah. That's what who was I talking to about over the weekend? I was like, I want to go see this. And the guy looked at me and I'm like, it's mindless action with giant monsters. Why would you not want to see this movie? And it sets up a universe. Like you get Kong versus Godzilla coming up. So I don't know. For me, I definitely want to go see this. And I have, after this hell week at work, I have a lot more quiet time. I've actually the last 2 weeks of June off. So I'll probably be going to the movies quite a bit those 2 weeks. So,
cool.
But
I could see Aladdin still.
Yeah, I got to see that.
Godzilla. Something else.
There's a couple opening. I want to see why. I missed John Wick 3. I have to go see that. I think I know. And we're gonna get into what we've been up to in a second. You probably chastise me, but anyways, at number 2 was Aladdin at 42.9 million, basically 43. Doing actually very well over its tracking the first week. Yeah. Second week was a pretty good hold. So Disney makes a hit after basically just making their animated movie a live action.
Yeah, no, it's pretty interesting. I got to see this movie. Aladdin's one of my favorite animated movies of all time. So it's hard not to compare them.
Yeah. No, I mean, that's the thing. Like, I actually listened to the music today because as I have a little one getting on the bus, she likes to listen to Disney music. And I'm like, you know what? I'm going to hear Will Smith sing Prince Ali and Never Had a Friend Like Me. And It wasn't bad, but it wasn't like, it didn't have the emotion that Robin Williams would put behind things. But it's his own take. That's why. I mean, he sings differently. I mean, nobody puts the emotion that Robin Williams did. So that's, he can't be that. And I think he made it his own okay. I mean, I didn't see the movie yet, but, Corey, we'll get into that. Yeah. We can talk about it. I just talk about it, man. Keep it flowing.
All right. Well, yeah, for me, and Mike talked about it last week, but for me, like I mentioned, it's one of my favorite movies. So every scene I'm comparing and trying to not necessarily remember, because I remember the animated film pretty much scene for scene, and I'm waiting for scenes that happen in animated film to happen or see how they change them and see how they the take on them that they have here. And while it's all good and it does its job, it just doesn't have that the magic that I was looking for really when I watched the animated film. And like you mentioned, Will Smith, I appreciate him doing his thing. He's Will Smith in the movie. Like Mike said last week, he's just Will Smith. And, you get part of him, you get half of him blue and half of him himself, essentially. Yeah. But he's just playing the Will Smith character as the genie, and that's fine. But you can't really beat Robin Williams. I don't think it's just. So would
you summarize it by would you best say that despite the fact that it was animated before, this version doesn't have any soul behind it?
No, I wouldn't say that. I mean, there's been live action Aladdin movies that have been almost parodies of this, and those are just terrible. Yeah. This is a decent film. It's not bad. And if you've never seen Aladdin before,
right, that's what I was about to ask. If
you've never seen Aladdin, I think you'll enjoy this quite a bit. And it's great for kids. Absolutely,
Good.
they're gonna enjoy it. It's very colorful, and the characters are.
See, I don't think they portrayed that well in the trailer. The colorful, like how colorful that was.
There are a lot of colors. And the characters are good. They're fun. They make Jasmine like I think more of a strong female character in this, and she gets like a little solo / like song that they're trying to push out there. Which
there's a few extra songs for her.
Yeah, I feel like they're trying to push that a little bit on you, but it's at the same time like it's like the empowerment of the character and like the situation she's in, and how do you act in this scenario where like you're basically kind of forced to get married. The one thing I will mention, I don't know if I talked about on the podcast last week, but I definitely mentioned afterwards, is the fact that Jafar doesn't sing in this. And
Really.
One of my favorite things is the alternate Prince Ali song Jafar does in the animated movie.
Yeah,
and he doesn't do it here.
Yeah,
so like that's like one of the things where I was really disappointed in. But at the same time, it was definitely worth seeing Aladdin, the Disney live action Aladdin. I'd say for the A-list, if you have the A-list, absolutely no brainer if you're a fan of Aladdin.
Cool. All right. The rest of the box office is as follows. Once I get back here, Rocket Man, 25.8 million. That did pretty well opening. Ma, which I just saw the trailer for last week, had no idea this was coming out, at 18.1, and then John Wick Chapter 3 was at 5 with 11.2. Endgame, I don't think is going to take Avatar down. It's close, 75 million.
Yeah.
So looks like it still reigns. I mean, does it really? I mean, Disney now owns Avatar, so would they be beating themselves? I don't know.
Well, it's interesting though.
Avatar didn't make that money for Disney then.
No, but
what's funny, not funny, but what I find interesting is that the highest grossing domestic film of all time is an original IP. Like it's not based off of anything except for I mean Pocahontas really, but at the same time it's like technically not based off of anything.
Wait, I thought Endgame outdid Avatar domestically at least.
Did it?
Oh, that's worldwide then. I'm sorry, whatever it was.
We're talking world. I know we're definitely talking worldwide right now, but I don't.
It's worldwide then as well.
Because
it's still number one.
Cameron tweeted out that.
Congrats.
Yes.
Yeah.
So all right. Let's get into what we've been up to then. Opening next week. Before I do that, Dark Phoenix is opening. Does anybody care?
I'm gonna go see it.
I will go see it.
I'm gonna see it with A-list.
I will see it with A-list as well. So
I'm not gonna see it because I haven't seen the last one.
You can be fine with skipping that, Mike. You really don't need to see it.
Well, then I don't need to see this one. It's the same thing.
Yeah. No, I agree with that.
I'm not disagreeing with that.
Wait.
I don't think you see any of them. But
I will disagree with this. I will, and let me tell you why. Let me tell you why, Mike. Who in this group of four of us is the biggest fan of this movie universe?
Yeah, me, and I didn't.
Okay, now just wait. This is the last movie of this universe.
The last movie of this universe was Logan. That was the epilogue. And the last movie really of this universe was...
This literally is the last movie of this universe. This literally is the last movie.
This is an offshoot universe. Of
Technically, New Mutants is the last movie of this universe.
We're never seeing New Mutants. I guarantee it.
It's like watching a TV show, Mike, when Smallville got like shitty at the end. But you know, at that point, you got to stick it out. You've come this far.
It was shittier in the middle.
You've come this far, though.
I didn't come this far. I didn't watch the last one.
Yeah.
But it's run out of what, like 12? 13?
Yeah.
In all honesty, though, yeah. Like,
that's the only reason why. But that's the only reason why I disagree. Is like I feel like he should be the one that actually, because he's a fan of the universe, and
he loves X3,
and this is
like a remake of X3.
Yeah, and this is
the thing is, like at the same time, though,
stars Wolverine pretty much.
Yeah, I was gonna say at the same time, like maybe you go out on the high notes and not necessarily watch the
Days of Future Past is the ending for him.
Days of Future Past was the ending of the timeline that I knew of. Okay. This is a different timeline. It's a bunch of bullshit.
It is.
So I don't care about it.
Let's see. Also opening is Secret Life of Pets 2. So that's your box office openings. Picking up with what we've been up to. Corey, did you have anything else to add since you already went?
I'm trying to think. I've been just catching up on anime mostly.
Okay. All right. I've been away for 2 weeks, so I will mention that I've actually already seen Secret Life of Pets 2. So I went to the movies and saw that at an early screening. Why? Because I have a 6-year-old. So you bring 6-year-old to Secret Life of Pets. Now, I did like the first one, actually. That's why. Snowball, the bunny, is just. I think Kevin Hart does like an amazing job with a cutesy bunny. It's just hilarious. This movie is more with him as a main character, but it's more of like this could have easily been just an episode on TV. Like it seemed like three quarters of the movie they were trying to find their story. So, which it's a kids movie. I understand that, but I'm just like
the one with Harrison Ford as an old dog in it or something.
Yes, he is. So I was shocked when I heard that voice. I'm like, Harrison Ford? But it didn't have as much of the charm and interest for an adult. Like I liked the first one, and this one I just was like, this missed the whole thing for me. So I saw that, and then I went opposite. I went the same day, went back to the movies by myself, and I watched Brightburn. So what happened was, and this is why I didn't see John Wick. Before you guys chastised me for not seeing John Wick, I had an hour and a half to kill. Only. I had to be someplace else in 2 hours, so I could not have watched John Wick. But I snuck in Brightburn essentially because I was there, and I'm like, well, it's playing, and I'm like, I have an hour and a half to kill, so this is why I watched Brightburn, which is Dark Superman. Basically, it is a Superman movie. It's just, what if the kid just went like pure evil? And it was okay. It was a lot bloodier than I expected for no reason. Like, it just seemed like they wanted to go over the top with it to make it rated R. And
what big name was attached to this? Like, was it James Gunn or something? Or
it is James Gunn's movie. Yeah.
Okay. I knew somebody was like attached as like producer, and it's like,
yeah.
Like, you don't know. Like, it's one of those where the director is meaningless because James Gunn produced this. So
yeah, and I think that it's got, what's her name?
Elizabeth Banks.
Elizabeth Banks. Thank you. Elizabeth Banks is in this as the mother, Ma Kent, Martha. But
man, they should have just made her name Martha.
Yeah, I should have. But man, this kid, it's like, man, imagine if like Superman didn't have the Kents. It makes the Kents like the heroes of the entire universe. I'm watching this. So.
Die.
Well, that's what happened. Well, he does, but so yeah, it's a good movie, I guess, but it wasn't like fantastic. I thought it was like, I don't know, it was very short, and it didn't have a lot. Didn't give us enough information as to what the purpose was. So because it was an hour and a half, and it was just really short. But it was also overly bloody. I didn't need to be what it was. So, but that's, I mean, that's pretty much it for movies. I've also watched Good Omens on Amazon, which is obviously, I'm watching this, Corey, David Tennant's in it. He's one of my favorite actors. He plays
watched it too.
Crowley. Yeah,
first 2 episodes.
Yeah, I watched the first 2 episodes. So I'm enjoying it. It's very British, but I'm enjoying. I like my British shows sometimes, and like I've seen The Office, I've seen IT Crowd, I've seen the original Office that I'm talking about. I've seen a lot of the Doctor Who stuff, obviously, and
Sherlock,
Robin Hood, Sherlock. I've seen a lot of British shows, and like it's very British, but it's like I'm enjoying it. I mean, I definitely like
Misfits. Yeah,
Misfits. I have seen a lot of British shows. Tony, what are you thinking of it?
Yeah, it's pretty fun.
Yeah, it's fun.
It's a clever, interesting premise. Some of the stuff that happens, you're just like, oh, okay, like, yeah, we'll roll with this.
But the guy in it, is that Michael Sheen?
Yeah, it's Michael Sheen.
His name, yeah.
Yeah, I almost call him Martin Sheen. I'm like, I know it's not Martin Sheen, but yes.
Yeah, no, he's in Twilight as well. We'll talk about another Twilight actor later.
Yes, we will. So that's pretty much of note. I had to travel, so I didn't have much time to watch stuff, and I've been very busy with work. So that's pretty much it for me. Mike, how about you?
I didn't watch anything.
All right. Tony, anything?
Yeah, I've been catching up on a lot of stuff. Watching Netflix at the gym for cardio time and stuff like that. Because I don't know, I got tired of podcasts and audiobooks for a little while. I just want to jazz it up. So I watched Star Wars, a solo movie. Or solo, or whatever it is.
Solo story.
Solo Star Wars movie. Whatever the hell it is. It actually wasn't that bad. I would say it's good. It's just,
if it wasn't about Han Solo, it would be better.
Yeah, like
it was just a random scoundrel out there.
That's the thing, is like it kind of diminishes it in a way, because it's just like, all right, like obviously I know this Han Solo's not going to wind up with his chick, so fill the blank. Yeah. And Chewbacca, obviously he's going to live, and obviously Han Solo's going to live. So all these other people probably not going to make it. A la Rogue One Part 2, I guess. But it wasn't too bad. The main act, like there are parts where I'm like, okay, that worked, and there's other parts where I'm just like, no, man, like that didn't work.
That's the thing is like these prequels and stuff. It's like they're trying to do the whole. It's about the journey, not the destination. But yet, like sometimes it's better to leave the journey up to the imagination, and like you already have the idea of like what happened. Now you're trying to like specifically tell us it. I'm like, no, like I had this picture in my head of what's happened. I know what the destination was. I'm gonna fill in that journey section, but now you're doing it for me. It just doesn't feel right.
Yeah, and I think that's I've talked about it before, but I think that's one of the flaws of the Star Wars franchise because I mean, this is way before there's connected universes and all this multimedia, like connect the dots kind of stuff going on. But it's always like that ensemble, like cast of characters and stuff like that. And together, like it's like, oh, you got the goody two shoes kid from some sand planet, you got the rogue scoundrel, you got the princess, you got the old master Jedi, and you got 2 droids. It's like, okay, that's cool, like you can work with that. But like any one of those, not really interesting. Enough to hold like 2 hours of a movie. Even the side characters is like they're just ripoffs of themselves at that point. It's like, oh look, we got another like clever ass droid that likes to talk back and sass. It's like, wow, where have I seen this before? I don't know. Real original. But it's just a shame. And I doubt they're ever making a sequel to it. There's no duo or whatever the hell they would call it. So it's just dead in the water, and it's kind of bad, but just move on. Let's brush Rise of the Skywalker under the bridge and move on with the new stuff.
With the Old Republic? That's what they're going to move. They're moving backwards now, even further.
No, I mean,
are they definitely doing the Old Republic? Do we know? I mean, is that
that was in the news last week?
It definitely was confirmed. Like I thought it was just a rumor.
Really? Are you sure about that?
I thought it was just a rumor. I obviously I've been in and out of news stories, so
I'm pretty sure it's not. I don't know if it's confirmed. It's like we won't really know until it actually happens.
Yeah, I mean that's good though. I'm actually happy for that though. I'm actually good. That I didn't know if that was actually confirmed or not. And that's good news for me because I would love to see that story, that universe. So, So, anyways, where were we?
Tony.
No.
Okay. All right. Well, let's get into the news. We don't have a topic for you guys tonight because this is E3 time. So look for our Gamecast. We're gonna have a topic there. E3 predictions. So obviously we'll be talking a lot of games coming up. But first we have this news here. So let's do that. Let me get that opened. Here we go. Let's see. Two Netflix announcements. Now this was funny because Tony, when you posted this, I completely missed the big news on this. But I thought it was interesting anyways before I even read that part. But anyway, so Netflix is going to be releasing a Wizards of the Coast Magic: The Gathering series, animated series. And I was like, oh, that's awesome. And, that's fantastic. And then you're like, I can't believe that the Russos are attached. I'm like, wait, what? And I looked and I'm like, oh my God. Yeah, the Russo. So they go from their big movie, the big movies from Marvel to this, which is interesting. Like, the
headline I saw for this was Avengers creators set to bring Magic: The Gathering to screen or something like that.
Yeah, like
it's they don't even like it was the first thing was Avengers was like the first thing it says. It's like, wait, what's this? And then
but for them to do this, I take this like this is a passion project for them. I think like why would they they could do whatever they want right now, and they picked working on Magic.
Yeah, it's interesting. It's like taking an IP that's pretty well known. I mean, I think most people that are nerd fans, Avengers fans, have heard of Magic: The Gathering. Like they know, like, oh, there's a card game called Magic or something. So it's going to be interesting to see bring it to life. So
so there's
a lot to.
Just how much details. What I just mentioned about Star Wars is like Magic. I mean, have like 30 years of like all this lore and story and whatnot. And it's unfortunate because, like, for the most part, they've been telling it through the cards, which is a really bad and inefficient way to tell a story because, it's a collectible game. So it's like nobody, you have to go out of your way to read all the stuff about the cards, and you're not guaranteed to see them in a specific order. So it's like you could find this one card and it's like, oh, the villain died in this one. And it's like, oh, cool. I know how the story is. Right, exactly. It's just like, what? And then the books, which have ranged in quality and never really tied together. and they tried a comic series in Japan and whatnot, but it was definitely a huge opportunity for them because it's like, how can they, franchise these characters that they've created and stuff like that? And I think a Netflix animated series has done well. I mean, you look at Castlevania, Devil May Cry. I mean, all the stuff. So it's just like good opportunity, and I don't know how they got the Russos
from television too. So
yeah,
it's like they're real. It's right up there.
That's so crazy to me. Like, well, I mean, I guess it's not too crazy because they still worked on the Arrested Development series, right? The Netflix seasons, right?
Development?
Did they?
No, I don't think they were.
I don't think they were attached.
Community
to that.
guys.
Yeah,
Community.
I don't think they were attached to the Arrested Development, were they?
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
So, all right.
I think there was. I mean, because everybody from Community is all in all of their movies.
Yeah. So, all right. What else do we have? So, we'll see what they do with that. We also have Jurassic World animated series coming in 2020. That was announced as well. Produced by Spielberg. So Netflix is too big. Jurassic World's a pretty big property.
They definitely worked on Arrested Development. I just fact checked it.
Really?
I was like, I'm pretty sure this.
I'm shocked.
I mean, they have done Community as well, but it started with Arrested Development. So.
Okay. All right, that's interesting. I did not know. I learned something new tonight. Yeah. So Jurassic World's coming to Netflix as well in an animated series. So interesting or not? What do you guys think? And then the world is obviously the movie wasn't great the last one, but
yeah, I wonder if this takes place after because I spoiled that movie at some point. I forget when I spoiled it, but I think it was the end of the movie. Basically, they released all the dinosaurs on the mainland. It's like, oh well, I guess now America's got dinosaurs living on its continent.
So that's how you can make a series, I guess.
Yeah. So now we got Dino Riders, I guess.
Dino Riders, absolutely. Yeah. Please, that was a great cartoon. It was only on for 6 episodes, but whatever. Okay.
There's also kind of recently they're talking about the Avatar live action show. Like they're starting to cast for that now. So.
Oh really? Okay.
Supposed to be coming out next year, I think.
Yeah.
And it's just a straight remake of seasons 1, 2, and 3.
Cool. All right. And lastly, we have 2 bits of DC news confirmed finally. One bit confirmed, and the second one was news, I guess. That is that Robert Pattinson is going to, in fact, be Batman and Bruce Wayne. Obviously, and that is confirmed now by the director himself. So that 100%. So
and Variety ran the news again.
And Variety, yeah, which they leaked a while back. But I mean, I don't think after the initial gut reaction I had for this, I've wheeled it back. I've let him show me. So I'm okay with this. Let's see what he's got.
Yeah, I think people can reinvent themselves, and it's tough. It's tough when you put yourself into a series that is such a not necessarily beloved because you can't say beloved, but it's such a well-known series, and it was hugely popular. I mean, Twilight, for whatever it was huge when it came out, and just unfortunate the writing and stuff didn't really lend actors the emotional or the range, I guess you could say, to portray as much as they could. So, and plus this is some 10 years later, so it's plenty of time to hone your craft and make different changes, and obviously he's worked on a lot of smaller things, so I'm excited to see what he can bring to the table. And obviously we're gonna get a younger Batman where we can grow with him and see what he does. I mean, how much what's the over under on seeing his parents die? It's
I mean that's the thing. We'll get it. We'll get it in during the movie. It will flashbacks.
Exactly.
Whatever.
There's gonna be pearls. There's gonna be a guy in an alley, just like in the Teen Titans movies. Don't go down that alley. It's
So yeah, and this will now obviously. I'm not really surprised with this, but they're already plotting a trilogy for the Reeves.
They can plan whatever they want, but it's not necessarily doesn't mean anything.
The thing is, this is Batman is their fucking comfort zone, man. It's just that's what we know how to do. It's I get it. Don't get me wrong. You got something good, you obviously stick to it. But it's just I don't know, it's so uninspiring and just shrug at this point. It's like, what Batman story are you going to tell me that I'm going to be like, yeah, okay, this is really cool. Like, I'm glad.
I don't know. There's a lot of great Batman stories out there. It's just a matter of can they bring them to the screen.
Do you think they're going to do them though? Like, which one?
I just don't know. I mean,
I would love to see the Court of Owls stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if we're going to get that. I mean, there's.
If you do like Batman New 52, you might as well just do the Court of Owls.
Yeah, that's true. I don't know which. I mean, the Long Halloween, something. I know there's a ton of Hush.
And you can cast your
You're probably gonna get Hush. I feel like Hush is like.
Well, Hush animated movies coming out.
Yeah, I know. That's why I feel like they might incorporate that.
You gotta find the Superman.
Yeah. I mean, that's true. That'll be the official recasting of Superman then. So that is a way to do it. But yeah, it's something that's going to have to be 3 movies long because he's got a full arc idea for this. So it's got to be a little bit longer story. But
or maybe make a new story. I know, right?
Yeah. No, there's so much source material to draw from for Batman. I mean, you
can take aspects, but you don't need to like.
They'll never make it more
story.
Scene for scene. No, but I think they will take aspects from probably 2 stories. I would say they draw from. But
you mean like BVS did?
Yes.
And Butcher
that had too many stories. That had like 8 stories in it.
See, the difference between that and this is we don't have Snyder. We have Matt Reeves.
No,
we have a better director. So I feel like there's going to be better control. Maybe I'm giving this guy too much credit, but
the most interesting part of this whole thing for me is they're going to play into the detective side of him, which we haven't seen too much in the movies.
Yeah,
I don't think we've seen it at all.
I don't think we've seen it. Like, yeah, when has he done like maybe that brief moment in with Michael Keaton when he figured out the Joker's like cosmetic thing he was doing?
I mean, in the old the Burton movies, he like plugged things into the back computer with like the chemicals.
That's what I mean. The chemicals. That's what I mean. The cosmetic thing. Yeah, that's the only thing I've seen.
What?
Yeah.
30 years ago?
Yeah, that was 30 years ago. Oh my god.
Yeah.
1989. So last time we saw a Batman detective was 30 years ago. So, all right.
So yeah, that's what I'm looking forward to seeing really from this. And I honestly think people in general are a little too upset about Pattinson. Like he's an actor and he kind of looks the part. Like who cares?
The way the backlash works is you're never going to have everybody 100%. Like Heath Ledger proves that you can get backlash and then just prove everybody wrong, because I would love to see those posts from people originally and then see what they say after for that. You can convert people as long as it's a good movie, and it's not Affleck anymore. So ultimately I'm good with this. It's got one of my favorite directors. So I'm pretty psyched for this, but it's hilarious though, because I've been traveling with school stuff and and I've gotten some feedback from blurry. I've gotten some feedback from younger kids who don't care about DC whatsoever. They even said to me, like, who cares about DC? Like, I don't want to see. They literally said this yesterday to me. Multiple kids, not just one, not just 2, probably about 8. So out of majority of the kids.
So what's the context behind this? You just went up to them, was like Marvel or
well,
DC?
we were discussing like we were discussing Star Wars, and then we were discussing Marvel movies, and I said, "Oh, did you guys see that the new Batman got cast?" Because they're 8th graders, and I'm like talking to them, and they said, "Yeah, but who cares about DC?" And I was like, "I'm like, none of you guys watch these?" Like, no, we all like can't wait for the next Marvel movie, and I'm like, okay, so DC's got a lot of work there. But I'm serious. There was very, very negative feedback from this.
The full indoctrination is complete.
Yeah, they have apparently DC has failed to make any good movies recently. Any. This is including Wonder Woman and Aquaman, which I thought were good, but these kids have not liked any DC movies.
Well, sheep.
Sure, but this is the problem.
I like how you say sheep. There's been like 8 Batman movies? Like how many Superman movies? Like 6?
They just aren't as fun for. They just aren't as fun for their age. That's totally what it is. It's an age thing. It's an age thing, Mike. They're not as fun for their age, and Marvel movies are more fun.
Yeah. Okay. Or they just.
That's it. That's it. I mean, honestly, like more fun for their age.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not calling them immature, but I'm just saying that for the kids,
like for all ages, like
yeah, that's what I mean. Like you can't make every
bracket. Do DC movies become better than Marvel movies? Like what demographic?
I'm not saying they are, but I'm saying that they're probably more harsh because they find them not as fun as Marvel movies.
Nailed it. Got that demographic.
Yeah. So I don't know, but I just thought it was. When I heard this yesterday, I'm like, I gotta bring this up on the podcast. Like, I don't know how to work it in, but I'm like, and I figure a way because I thought it was just a hilarious conversation.
So just pulling it back into the Robert Pattinson news, like, do we even expect this Batman to be part of like a connected universe or some shit, or is this just?
I think maybe.
So. You know, it's going to be not in the first movie, but if things go well and they figure stuff out, maybe in the second or third.
I can't see them giving up on that. Like, I can't. Like, I just don't see it happening with Marvel.
If they do the Hush thing, that's a door right there.
Yeah. So I just can't see them not trying it again. I'm not saying that. Like I believe they will reboot the universe. So
what's the next? Is it? I saw a preview for the Joker movie. I don't think that looks good at all. I don't understand.
I don't know.
It doesn't look like it looks just like, oh, we're gonna make a movie about this guy who's got mental issues and dresses as a clown. Oh, we'll put Joker on it too. So it's like not really. It doesn't look like it belongs.
But what's the next actual DC EU movie? Is it
Wonder Woman?
Wonder Woman or whatever? Wonder Woman.
Is that when is that?
2021 now, I think. Or 2020?
20? I was going to say 2 years away? No, it's a little way. It's like almost done.
I remember but it is like pretty much done, but they also delayed it for some reason.
That's what I'm trying to figure out what the delay was till. Wonder Woman.
It's delayed till next year, maybe, but not 21.
I think they might have even rumored like undelaying it.
Wow, it's a whole year from right now, June 5th, 2020. Holy shit.
Yeah,
that's the next shit.
That's the thing I don't understand. Like with BVS, they delayed that like a massive amount. Like why are you delaying these movies? Like what are you doing?
I think it's kind of spreading it out so they can figure out what they're doing with their universe and then have a plan when this hits. So they have other movies in the pipeline.
So far away, like
because they have nothing in the pipeline.
Right, and so like,
now you have Batman,
Gal Gadot, and like what do you do now? Like
no, because now you launch Wonder Woman, you get a good box office in the summer there, and then you have Batman on the horizon.
Yeah, really but this is a year away, Jim. I'm talking about like they just had Shazam. Like you run with that like momentum. Shazam was good.
They didn't know Shazam was going to do that, but they're trying to stretch it because they don't have content to fill the gaps.
Yeah, because they keep canceling it. Because there's like, we had this Green Lantern Corpse movie. We're gonna do this. We had this Flash movie. Maybe the Cyborg movie. Like, no, axe that shit. They don't know what they're doing.
I don't know. I think that's it for news.
I mean, so is it just Wonder Woman and Aquaman that are left? Like, and Henry Cavill's just unconfirmed at this point. I mean,
yeah,
they got Zach Levi.
Yeah, no, you got
they do have Shazam. Yeah, they have Shazam.
No, I'm talking about from Justice League. I'm talking about from Justice League.
Yeah, everybody else.
The Flash guy may come back.
Did you guys report that Flash and Cyborg's contracts were expiring this month?
Well, if he writes a movie, then he can.
No, he already did that, and they passed on it.
Yep, he's out. Yeah, their contracts expire this month. They're not expected to be renewed, so they're getting rebooted. The only ones that are staying around are Gal Gadot and Jason Momoa. Thank you. So, I think it's going to wrap it up. So, thanks for tuning in. Write us podcast at allyoucangeek.net. Follow us on Twitter, allyoucangeek. Like us on Facebook. If you're watching this on YouTube, hit that subscribe button. We post these videos every week on there. So thanks for tuning in. See you guys either on the Gamecast or next week.